Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be going through all of my kids' toys. Basically, we have a basement and my kids' rooms that we keep our toys in. And the toys we recently moved, they're just kind of scattered everywhere and it's driving me insane. I also noticed that my kids aren't playing with as many toys as they used to. So I'm going to go ahead and downsize as I'm going through the toys. But basically, the main idea of what I do is I grab all the toys from the house. So this is every toy. We don't really keep toys in our living room, but any toys in our living room, any toys in their bedroom, all the toys that we had kind of stored in the basement. I put them all out together. I just sort them before I kind of start going through them. I just sort them into like items. And I know fairly well what my like items are. So like, for example, I know that I like to keep my tin tea sets together, and then I like to keep all of the kind of play utensils together, and then I like to keep the wooden food together, and so I would separate all three of those out. But as far as like little figurines, I just put those all together because I generally keep them all together. So anyway, I have an idea generally in my head of what I want to do, but tonight I just set everything out and I went through everything. I did choose to do it in my basement because my kids aren't down there. And so you'll notice that we're getting our basement wired for electrical right now. And so I just want to let you know, none of it is hooked up. It's literally just the wires that are run. There's nothing hooked up to a box or anything like that. So don't be alarmed that there's like electrical wires everywhere. It's just that I had a moment tonight, and our electrician is like in the middle of doing it, but I had a moment tonight to like spread everything out and do it really quick, and then not have the kids involved because they're not going in the basement right now, and then be able to sort through everything. So I wanted to show you guys that, so hopefully this is helpful to you. Generally what I do, like I said, I just sort it all out, and then I go through each pile and I pull out toys that might be broken, or toys that I want to donate or give to a friend, and I just put those in their own separate piles, and then I go ahead and take care of those right away so they don't get kind of mixed back in. And then I store a lot of our kids' toys in totes, and then I know that they're in those totes, and then a lot of those get put away, and the ones that I want them to be playing with right now go into their rooms generally. So I will show you now what I was working with at first, and we'll kind of go through the progress of how I went through and organized all of their toys. So here is all my bins that I'm putting everything in. So I'm just empty bins, and then I'm starting to sort each of the individual toys. We're also in the middle of wiring our basement, which is why it looks like this. And so I'm just going to put all of these toys, and then I have a whole mess of toys on the other side of the basement that I'm going to be putting in too. So let's do that. Okay, so now that I have all three of these bins over here where I had all my staging stuff, I'm just going to go through, and I know this is like the doctor's kit, and I just saw somewhere where I had the doctor's stuff, so put that down for a minute. This is the hard hat. See, we uncover a bunch of other toys. I don't actually have a dinosaur area right now. I think that's what this was. It was like little dragon and dinosaur toys. That makes more sense. So that'll probably go over here with the other little toys, and then I can probably put this in the dress-up stuff, which is that bin right there. And then, okay, so this is all the construction stuff, which I might just transfer to this bin because this bin's a little larger, and we were having trouble fitting all that stuff in there anyway. As long as I can find a lid for this one. Anyway, that'll be all the construction stuff for right now. Where did I just see the doctor's kit? That's really strange. Anyway, that will be empty. So what I do with all my bins, if you can see here, I just put the lid underneath them. So, okay, this is good because I need this to go upstairs for homeschooling stuff. And so I do that with the bin, but I don't do any of that stuff until I don't move anything until I'm completely done. Okay, so I've been working on all of this, and now I went up to the girls' room and I got out all the toys from their room. So these are all the toys the backpack's full too. Those are clothes I need to go through, or some clothes that are like not going to fit them anymore. The toys that are left up in the girls' room are some ponies and there's something else that was like the only thing that I knew that I was separated. So anyway, and this is my trash pile right here, and I need to get a donate pile too. So I know it seems really chaotic, but it does make sense to me. Like I said, this is like all of the balls, and we have jump rope and some cones in there, dress up stuff like jewelry, dress up things, that's empty, some snakes and horses. Those are different horses than are one upstairs. That is Lego horses and some figures. Yeah, we just need to pare down a lot of this stuff because my kids just don't play with a lot of it. And I feel like I'm more attached than my kids are to a lot of this stuff, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Here, we're making good progress. This is my donate pile, my trash pile right there. Then I went through all those clothes. The ones on top we're just giving away, and then the ones on the bottoms are the ones that we're keeping. And just keep adding stuff to these. And then I'll go through and sort them more like, I know that the construction stuff doesn't need to be sorted anymore, but this tea stuff is definitely gonna be sorted. I'm gonna pare down our baby stuff by a lot because my kids just don't play with the baby dolls. They love playing with their play food, so we're gonna keep that. Oh, this is also something I do. I have like a bin of really random things, so if it takes me more than a second to like think about where it goes, it just goes in that bin. Then I have an empty bin because it had the Barbie stuff in it, but I just put the Barbie stuff on this thing because that is what we're working on now. It's going through this whole thing and just paring down the Barbie stuff because they don't play with it. So I'm gonna do that now. So I'm really just trying to show you guys like practically if you get overwhelmed what to do and how to help that. So I wanted to show you this process. I've emptied out all of these drawers and this is what I have so far. And you know, you just end up with a lot of little stuff. And I noticed that a lot of the stuff was Barbie stuff and dollhouse stuff, which we keep separate. So all of the dollhouse, Calico Critters and Peppa Pig is pretty much what we have for dollhouse stuff. I'm putting over there, but I'm just taking it by the handful and just putting it in here, in this bin right here. And then I will sort this bin, but anything big, I'm pulling out so that I have it like sort of separated. But that really helps me rather than like just trying to look in here and sort it. Sometimes that's really overwhelming. So like I'll take that chair out, and this is like a TV that I know that goes to that camper that we're not keeping. And so I'm gonna take the big stuff out, and then it starts to then reveal itself of like, oh, I know what these things are, and I can just start grabbing stuff. But if I just start to get overwhelmed and I notice, okay, I don't really know what all that is right now, then I just move it to a smaller bin, and it makes it a lot easier for me to then go through this smaller bin when the big stuff is kind of out of it, rather than trying to look at it all at once. So I know that's not going to go in there. That's a table, so that's not going to go in there. Yeah, and I'm just going to, like, I can see a few of these things, and I'm like, oh, those aren't, but that's fine. I'll just go through them in a minute. So anyway, then I will sort through that after I take this stuff out, and then this bin is just the Barbie dolls, and then we have a couple of the, you know, other pieces, and that stuff all goes to that camper that we're is over in that donate pile right there. Okay, here's our guest bed that's down here. Like I said, it's unfinished and we're doing electrical right now, which is why we pulled everything out from the walls. So then back here, there were some toys that were on the other side of the bed that Adam just pulled over when he pulled all this stuff out for the electrical. And then I noticed there's a couple toys down here, and so really I just pull all of this stuff out. And so I'll grab all this stuff and show you guys where I'm putting it. All right, we're pretty much done now. And again, remember, the basement is being wired for our electrical, but nothing is hooked up yet. So wanted to do this in a place that the kids weren't going to be. So this is all of my donate pile, and I've gotten rid of, thrown away any toys that were broken. And that was the pile that we're donating. So this is just a bin of like balls, and there's a cone and stuff in there, and a jump rope. I keep all of those in there, empty bin. So before, if you saw, you know, that was all of the toys there. So now I put all the construction stuff in this bigger bin. It had been in a smaller bin, but the hat never fit, and so there's plenty of room in this bin now, but I liked that the hat actually fit into it. This black bin is where I put some of our bigger, like, Disney toys basically. And then just some more of the clear bins that they're not using right now. I dwindled all of our baby stuff down to this because, quite honestly, my kids don't play with baby dolls that much. These 2 baby dolls we've had for a long time, and they do like them. They kind of like the car seat. I may or may not get rid of it, but what they really like over here is the stroller. So honestly, they play with the stroller more than they ever play with the babies and stuff. So anyway, then we have over here just some more toys. Their doctor kits. Then there's their felt food and their tin teapots and things. I ended up actually putting the dollhouse stuff back in here, which I was surprised about, but it worked out really well. And so on the bottom here, I actually put the little things in totes, and I like that a lot better. So this is more like the smaller, sort of like, I don't know, tiny Barbie pieces and a couple of the animals, and then the bigger Barbie pieces, and I liked that. The 2 bigger like play sets that we have, and then all the Barbies here, and then these are just empty. So, and that's the 1 Barbie set that I ended up keeping. And then we also have all of our stuffed animals. Okay, well that's it. That is how I organized all of my kids' toys. It took me 1 day, just kind of gather everything up, and it really wasn't even the whole day. I was just trying to, like, you know, manage the kids during the day and then be able to do that in my spare time. So it feels so much nicer to have everything sorted again. I know where it is. I know what we have. I put all the toys I want them to play with right now in their rooms so they're able to play with it. Again, I know the basement is so messy right now. It is not normally like that, but since we're getting all the electrical in, we had to pull everything from the walls and kind of pile it on top of each other, and so it's kind of crazy right now, but I feel so much better that all the toys are done, because man, they just get out of hand so quickly, and I get kind of caught up with their toys on, like, toys that I like, that I'm like, oh, this is a really cool toy, but they don't play with it, and I just am trying to let that go. If they don't like it, I'm not gonna keep it. It's so frustrating for me to just have so many toys, and I find that my kids play so much better with toys when I give them toys they actually like and less options. That's just the truth. So when I'm holding on to toys that I think are cool or that were gifts and I feel bad getting rid of, then honestly it just makes for a lot of clutter in our house, and it makes it harder for the kids to play. So paring things down, downsizing, and having them in those totes so I can put those totes away for a little while. I can have the toys in their room right now that I want them to play with or that they're interested in right now. And if they ask for another toy, I get it out for them. It's not a big deal, but at least they're not just having, like, all of their toys spread out all the time for that, like, you know, you walk in and it looks like a toy catastrophe went on. You're like, wow, all the toys are out. It makes it so much easier when you just have limited options and they can just play with what they love. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I love doing these videos where I just kind of show you what I'm doing, and I love watching those kind of videos because I get a lot of tips from people on how to organize my house and how to keep my house just feeling good and feeling calm and collected. So anyway, thank you guys again for watching.